Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Gurley Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Leighton. We have Brigitte, Cueter, Carino. All these are coming up and more. Afterward from our sponsors, please stay with us.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Senator Jinggoy Estrada was accompanied by his family when he arrived at the Sandigan Bayan to post a 90,000 peso bail over his graft charge stemming from his alleged involvement in the flood control scandal. Tensions rose as Estrada's security detail prevented reporters from crowding the senator on his way to the office of the clerk of court.
Do you think this is political? Reaction lang po. This is your third case.
Former Public Works Secretary Manuel Bonoan, a co-accused in the graft charge, also posted bail, which grants them temporary liberty. This is separate from the non-bailable charge of plunder pending before the Sandigan Bayan 5th Division. The 5th Division says it will first tackle the motion to withdraw warrant of arrest filed by Estrada Friday morning before considering the issuance of arrest orders.
We kind of understand that what we filed was extraordinary, but we hope that the justices of the Sandigan Bayan will understand that we, through our client, have not received a copy of the Ombudsman resolution charging him with crimes.
Estrada's camp claimed they were not even informed which flood control projects were included in the charges. Ombudsman prosecutors alleged that Estrada received 573 million pesos worth of kickbacks from flood control projects, a claim that Estrada has repeatedly denied. The senator said he will submit to the Sandigan Bayan's jurisdiction, but hopes there will be due process and fair treatment. 3 other public works engineers are also facing similar charges. Estrada was tagged in the flood control scandal after former DPWH engineer Bryce Hernandez claimed in a Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing that Estrada received kickbacks from projects in Hagonoy and Malolos, Bulacan in 2025. This is the 3rd time Estrada has been charged with plunder, though he was cleared in his previous cases.
Asia stocks supercharged on Friday while U.S. stocks held steady at all-time highs as traders wait to see whether Washington and Iran could finally get a peace deal across the line and restore oil flows through the Strait of Hormuz. The optimism causing Brent crude to fall toward $93 a barrel, with a benchmark set for its biggest monthly drop since the onset of the pandemic. Here at home, though, not so enthusiastic as the MSCI rebalancing and profit-taking dragged the PSE index back to the 5,700 level.
Starting June 1, there's going to be an MSCI rebalancing. So we saw Jollibee get a very big net foreign selling today. It was sold down. It's down about 6%. That one was moved from the main index down to the small cap index. We also saw the likes of Ayala Land also got sold down, getting quite a bit of foreign selling. We actually ended the day at the 6.6 billion net foreign selling. I think we also saw some profit taking happen. Even some of the top gainers when it comes to our index, like ICT was down 4% today. Same goes with Meralco, something that was quite stable, who performed quite well since last year. We saw them drop 4% today. So I think it's a combination of the rebalancing as well as some profit taking.
In corporate stories, MREIT's asset portfolio nears a milestone, 1 million square meters with its largest single acquisition to date. The Real Estate Investment Trust of Megaworld is acquiring 12 more commercial assets with a combined gross leasable area of over 303,000 square meters. The deal covers some of the property giant's most well-known assets, including Eastwood City in QC, Venice Mall at McKinley Hill in Taguig, as well as office buildings and even the Holiday Inn Express Hotel at Newport City in Pasay. And finally, Alson's Consolidated Resources is speeding up the construction of its key energy projects to support growing electricity demand in Mindanao. Alson says those projects include the Bawing Solar Plant in General Santos City and an undertaking to transform a diesel-fired power plant in Sarangani into a renewable energy facility. Alson's is also advancing studies on a hybrid technology and battery energy storage system for its conventional power plants in Zamboanga and Iligan. Aside from that, it also operates the Sigil hydropower plant in Sarangani, which began operations 2 years ago.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Imagine this is your money and someone wants to take it from you. Who is it? The IRS. Guess what? They want your money and they can take it, all of it if they want. Remember, they sent you that letter right over here that said, hey, you owe us a bunch of cash and we're going to take it from you right now. So what do? You fight back by letting our team of experts work it out with the IRS so you can keep your money. And hey, we're good at what we do. When you hire us, you get a team of guys on your side that know the IRS laws, and we'll fight really hard to save your money. So if you owe the IRS a ton of cash and you want to keep it, call right now and learn for free how we can help you put it back in your pocket. 5 minutes of your time right now can save you thousands of dollars. And the best part, it's a free call, so please call right now. In times of economic uncertainty and chaos, your money means nothing. You may not even be able to get it from your bank or ATM. And the money you do have in the stock market will go down and down and down. It's happened during every economic cycle, and it will happen again. What you can bank on is gold and silver. Gold and silver have been a reliable and trusted form of currency for thousands of years. Gold and silver have never been worth zero, and typically gold holds its value and sometimes grows during economic turmoil. Call the Gold Hotline now and learn how to protect your money and your assets with gold and silver. And learn how to set up a new IRA or roll over your current one into a gold-backed IRA. Protect your money from the next market crash with gold and silver. Call now for your free gold guide.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
ViaTimes, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. ViaTimes for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. ViaTime has very interesting columnists. You name it, ViaTimes has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call ViaTimes at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat and welcome to Veronica's portion of this show. Today, I have a very interesting person. He is a doctor of medicine, and his name is Dr. Hugh Pabarue. And Dr. Hugh Pabarue is a vein doctor or vascular, isn't it? It is the other name for vein, vascular.
Correct.
But for vascular medicine, right, doctor?
That is correct.
Welcome to our show. Welcome
Thank
to
you
our
for
show.
inviting me.
And we're going to be talking about your expertise and also the Metro Vein Clinic. The Metro Vein Clinic is that your clinic? You own that clinic?
Yeah, I'm the regional medical director for Metro Vein Centers. So I oversee all of the clinics in the Midwest. So we have multiple locations across this country. We actually started in Michigan, and we then branched out. And when I started 14 years ago, we only had 3 clinics. And now we've expanded to Chicago being our 70th clinic. So we've really expanded across the country, and we're in multiple states now.
Okay, so you're opening how many branches here in Chicago?
Well, we just opened our first clinic here in Chicago yesterday was our first day.
Yesterday.
And yesterday was our first day, and it was a great opening. We had about 20 patients who came through our doors the first day, which is excellent. And then we plan to expand more on that. So we have one clinic that we started here in Chicago, and our plan is to at the end of June open our second clinic. It'll be on the west side of the city, and then our plan is to open 4 other locations by the end of the year. So we will service the whole metropolitan Chicago area.
Okay, vein clinic. Okay, I'm not quite familiar with vein clinics. I've seen around here in Chicago pain clinics, not vein clinics. Okay.
Right.
First thing, can you please give us your background about?
Yeah, sure. I primarily I started off out of in medical school and residency. After that, I practiced internal medicine for 7 years before I decided to change my career path. So I decided to study veins because it was always an interest for me when I was practicing, outside of vein surgery. And so I had been doing that for 7 years, and then I decided to change my career path because I wanted to help people. And I think by doing vein surgery, I can really help people out because a lot of my patients come in with a pain in their legs. They're swollen. They're they have trouble walking. And so what I do is I come up with a plan to help them with those symptoms and improve their quality of life, because that's what ails a lot of people as we age. A lot of those ailments that we get, the pain in the legs, difficulty walking, all of those things really start to hit our older folks. So my goal is to help those patients improve those symptoms and improve their quality of life. I have people who've come through my doors and they've required walkers, wheelchairs, difficulty walking and so forth. So I treat them, and 6 months down the road, they don't need those things anymore. So stories like that inspired me to do vein surgery, and that's why I'm set. I wanted to expand, across the country to really extend what we do to all populations across the country.
Is there a big percentage of the population who are suffering from vein problems in this
I'm
country?
sorry, I didn't hear that first part.
Is there a big number of population here in the U.S.
Yes.
that's suffering from the vein problems?
Yes, they say in the literature that about 20 to 30% of older adults have vein issues. I think it's underrepresented. The reason why I say that is I get a lot of patients who report that they have pain in their knees. They go to orthopedics. They go to their primary care over and over again. We're reporting these problems, and I think underlying vein problems go undiagnosed for a lot of people. Usually, I'm like the fifth doctor in line before they get to me because they've gone to all these other people and they don't know where to go. They hear our ads, they hear our they come across us online, and they like, wait, those are my symptoms, So I then get patients that way because they've reached their wits' end. They can't find somebody that will help them, and so that's how they end up in my clinic often. My goal too in being here is to educate the not only the patients but also the physicians in the area, because often they don't recognize that these people have a problem. For example, if you have leg swelling, a lot of people go to their primary care doctor, they have leg swelling. So they give them a water pill. And so when the underlying problem is a vein problem, the water pills are not going to help. They just make you go to the bathroom all the time, and you really don't get to the root of the problem. We get to the root of the problem. We get this problem solved. And a lot of times, once the veins are treated, the swelling comes down, the patients feel better, and they don't need those water pills anymore.
What particular parts of the body do we get the vein problem from?
Yeah, so there are a lot of different reasons.
Which part of our body? The legs, the feet, the hands, or
right? Vein problems tend to show up more in the legs more than anywhere else. So what ends up happening is we have these valves inside our veins, and they open and close like this to help push the blood out of our legs. What ends up happening as we age naturally, just like we get wrinkles when we age, same thing happens with our valves. They just wear out with time. So instead of meeting in the middle like this, they get weak and start flopping. So what ends up happening is blood comes down through the arteries, okay, but then going back through the veins is very slow because those valves are no longer helping to push the blood out. So when you're on your feet for a long period of time, or the alternative, if you sit for a long period of time, gravity holds everything down. These veins then begin to stretch out and hold blood rather than move it along. And so when that happens, these veins, when they enlarge, they start to push on the muscles and nerves in those areas, and that can cause pain. Also, as the veins enlarge, the pressure builds up so much, they pop open all these branches that you begin to see on the surface. So a lot of people, you might see spider veins, those purplish veins that show up on the skin surface, or you may have these veins that bulge. You see people with these big ropey veins that show up on the surface. Those are all signs of having underlying vein problems in the legs that need to be looked at and treated, especially if you have symptoms along with it.
So varicose veins and spider veins are a couple of very common problems with our population. That's the special kind of patients that you get in your clinic, right? The ones with spider vein problem and varicose veins.
Correct. Yes, we do see a lot of those patients. So basically, this is more than just a cosmetic thing. So a lot of people, yeah, they may have some spider veins here and there, but they may not have any symptoms. But if you start getting swelling or pain in the legs, leg cramps at night, restless legs. A lot of people have restless legs where they can't find a comfortable position and or their legs shake when they sit and things like that. Those are often signs of veins that need treatment. Okay, and so when the veins are enlarged to the point where you're seeing varicose veins and they're causing symptoms, that's the time to come in and see me. I'll take a look at with an ultrasound and determine, is there an underlying vein problem that needs treatment? And so I think that's so a lot of people may not know the signs and symptoms of that. They may think it's a normal part of aging. You know, it's arthritis, all of those things. But if they have those symptoms along with the spider veins, the varicose veins, they should come in and take a look with the with us, and that way we can determine, you know, is this a vein problem or not.
Right, very good. Where okay, here in Chicago, where can our people find the Metro Vein Clinic? Where did you open up? Which
Yeah, so we are in the Rivertown area, so we're right close to Northwestern University, and if you know where Gino's East Pizza is, we're a street over from that, you know. So we're right in the heart of downtown in the Magnificent Mile. So if you are down this way or live close to this way or have an easy commute down to here, you know, we'll be happy to take a look at you. And again, we're going to be expanding out to, you know, a lot of the suburban areas as well. So we'll be able to hit a lot of the population throughout the city. Our location is 150 East Huron Street, down here in Chicago.
Okay. Is there a particular group of people that are that get affected by serious vein problems? Is it for more popular in the older group, the seniors group, or the younger group?
Well, I'd say, like I was saying before, we all get it to some extent as we age, whether we like it or not. So age plays a role. However, there are other reasons why people get vein problems. So, for example, if it runs in your family, that's a big one. So if your mother, brother, sisters, you know, if they had vein problems, there's a high likelihood that you would get it too. Because your genes are similar. And then, at that place, so age and then gender, women get it more than men, primarily because of hormonal reasons. The high estrogen levels for women can sometimes put you at risk for getting varicose veins. And then pregnancy. So those have had multiple pregnancies, you know, more than just one. Those tend to be a higher risk for developing vein problems as well. One, because the baby, when they have children, the baby rests on the veins as they return back up to the core here. So if the baby is resting on it, it puts pressure on the veins, and then that causes the veins to enlarge. And also because of the hormonal differences experienced in pregnancy. And then being on your feet a lot. So I see a lot of people who are on their feet. So hairdressers, teachers, doctors, nurses, a lot of those people who are on their feet a lot and don't, there should be a balance between sitting and standing. And so if you're on your feet a lot during the day, it puts you at risk for that. So I see a lot of factory workers as well for that reason. And then if you sit a long time, so people who have desk jobs, you know, they sit behind a desk for hours and hours at a time. Those are the people that get varicose veins as well. And then people who travel a lot. So people who have to travel, you know, across the country several times a month or year, you know, those patients, those are some of the patients that we see as well.
All right, very good. Well, thank you thank you for gracing our show today and
Thank you so much for inviting me.
and enlightening us about some issues with our veins. And all right, very good. Well, one short advice for the vein health problem or treatment that we have to know about.
Well, what I want to emphasize, a lot of people don't know what vein treatment is. Vein treatment is really minimally invasive. You come in, get your procedure done, and go about your day. There's no downtime with any of our procedures. So you come in, get your procedure done. So we evaluate you and determine what vein treatment is best for your situation. Different veins require different treatments. So we have 7 different vein treatments that we do here. And we choose what's best based on your particular anatomy because it's different from person to person. So we tailor the vein treatment towards that particular patient and make it easy for that patient as well. So we want to do what's best for you and what's best for your overall health. We want to make it easy. So I have people who come on their lunch breaks from work, get the procedure done and go back to work. You know, it's not going to eat up too much of your time and you'll go right back to your normal routine, which is very important for a lot of people. And as far as pain is concerned, you might feel like a little bruise if you touch the area that was treated, but it shouldn't bother you where you can't do your normal routine, which is very important for people as well.
Great. Thank you very much, Hugh Pabarue, for gracing our show today. At maraming salamat. That's thank you very much in our language. And maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye now.
Take care. Thank you.
Bye.
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash-out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash-out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
This is a prayer and a reminder. All we have is now. Anak, umuwi ka na.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Hi. I can't hug you. Don't touch me.
Over the last several days, we have seen peaceful demonstrations.
Protests over police brutality continued here in Austin.
Remember when you started going to college? You came home a liberal?
Dad, please.
That's what we do to you guys in school.
All these people that we never met and never will meet because of what had happened to them. It's just too much.
The way that our family communicates is not necessarily, it's not great.
What advice would you give for those of us that are struggling?
Deal with it.
I think the norm for our communities has been to just stay silent and keep to your own business.
I could definitely be doing more than I'm doing right now, and I know that others can as well.
What if someone is called from God to be an activist?
I can answer the question.
Shouting revolution, oh wow, breaking each tradition.
You don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement?
An advocacy group reporting at least 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents since last March.
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm like, maybe I should move home and be here with them.
I hope that this moment makes you take a step forward and a step together in the right direction.
In order for a subject to not be taboo in our community, there always has to be like someone to start that conversation.
You speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I've seen you do that for other people.
I see a lot of people who just kind of cut off friends and family, and I don't think I can do that. I love my parents.
This is a symbol of our voices. If you look at your neighbors around you, you will see who stands with you, who stands for you.
At least I know that you can stand up. That's the thing I'm so happy about.
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat, and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very interesting gentleman as our guest today. He is the author of a book entitled The Refugee Advantage. You want to know more about the refugee entrepreneurs? Listen to us today. Hi, his name is Mr. Dalton Sermons. Dalton is the author of this book entitled, just like I mentioned, The Refugee Advantage. Welcome to our show, Dalton.
Thank you, Veronica. I appreciate the opportunity.
Okay, and you wrote this book, The Refugee Advantage. Are you covering all the refugees so far in this country?
Not all of them, but a representative sample of those who resettle here and are successful business founders.
Just a general, some of them really generally considered entrepreneurs or business people. Okay, and what drove your work, or what inspired you to write this book, Dalton?
It's been an interesting journey. In 1999, my wife and oldest friend and I formed a tech company. And during that time, my wife and I became aware of developing countries and people that were in far worse situations than we would ever imagine. And as we became aware of them, we were wondering, okay, what's our role here? We visited some countries like Nicaragua, for instance, which is one of the poorest in this hemisphere. And over the years, we began to understand that they were just lacking in resources, not lacking in the skills it would take to build businesses and to become, great employees, even if they weren't founders. So after we were acquired in 2018, I began to jump into this head first. Went to grad school and studied displacement and getting an international relations degree. And then I began to notice that as some of the organizations I'm affiliated with were involved in placing refugees into meaningful work, we found that a large portion of them would rather be entrepreneurs and build their own businesses. In fact, nationwide, they're about 50% more likely to start businesses. And they're very, very good at it. We don't know if it's before displacement, if they possess these qualities, or if flight actually developed the qualities within these refugees. But regardless of ethnicity or country of origin, refugees as a group are very, very good entrepreneurs. And so we found that the narrative around refugees is quite wrong, and that we need to be talking about not what they're looking to gain from moving to a place of safety and security and opportunity, but what do they bring? And they bring a lot, and they invest a lot. And in a very short time, they become net assets. And that's what inspired me to write this.
All right. Okay. Just curious. Did you come from a family of refugees in this country?
I did not. I came from a very traditional family in a rural area of southern Georgia.
Okay, great, terrific. Okay, you must have done a lot of studies of just researching about this group of people. Okay, with what is going on in our country right now, refugees or aliens, illegal or illegal aliens are the focus of the news, right? And when we're talking of refugees in this country, these are the group of people that left their mother countries and because of war or persecution or something like that, right? Correct? That's the group.
That's correct. They were forced to leave under the threat of violence, conflict, or even the threat of death, and they cross an international border into another country. And the moment they do that, they're basically throwing their lives in the hands of international law and a host country. And so when we talk about refugees, they have been designated refugee by the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, and through our treaties and our documents, we look at them as refugees as well. So it is a designated status that makes them a little different.
Great. So, all right, with the refugees, so do you have a number of when you wrote the book, a number of refugees who are involved in business in this country? They started their business somehow and still in business, and or even if they're not in business. Do you have the number?
So we don't categorize businesses by their status of being a refugee or non-refugee. So I do not have an accurate number. What I can tell you is that 13 to 14% of refugees who are accepted in the U.S. will become entrepreneurs, compared to about 9% of our native population. And the businesses they will found are diverse. They will be restaurants, they will be IT companies, they will be finance, you name it. They're involved in all sectors. And we also find that they're great employers, like my friend Andrew Lee in San Francisco. He and his brothers bought a small corner bakery in 1984, and today it's the largest Asian-owned bakery in the United States. It is an international business. And when he's hiring, the company gives preference to refugees and immigrants. But we see that play out over and over again in businesses across this country.
Okay, what is your purpose in writing the book about?
Excellent question. We want to change the narrative in a couple of ways. Number one, we want the book, which is written for a general audience. It's written for anyone who's interested in having their thoughts challenged, so that they see that when we welcome refugees, we're actually improving our communities, improving our states, and improving our nation. And that there are so many misconceptions floated around out there, even by some very well-meaning organizations that position refugees as people always in need, in desperate situations. Veronica, initially, if you have to leave your home under the threat of violence or death with just what you can carry on your back, yes, you're in a desperate situation. But that's momentary. And they survive from that. And many of them thrive after that. And so wherever they're welcomed, again, they become a valuable asset to these new communities. So that's one thing. The second thing I'd love to accomplish with the book is to give a message that is not political at all. We'll talk policy, but we're not talking about politics here, because these assets transcend political party. And we want to try to take the temperature down and hopefully have people at the extremes look at this group differently, more from a business case than humanitarian, although there's a humanitarian need here. But again, if we look at everyone can benefit, we can bring more people into this conversation.
Great. With many groups of refugees that are in this country, can you mention group of people who are really entrepreneurs in nature? Is there a definitely kind of people from certain groups of certain countries that are really entrepreneurial in spirit so far?
And you know, my research did not look at it in that way. But what I can tell you is that when many refugees we welcome here are looking for their next opportunity, they have this idea that, well, if I can't do anything else, I can cook. And so many of them initially get into the food service business, regardless of their country of origin. So many of them that humanitarian aid workers have termed them chefugees, because you can go into so many communities and you will find restaurants that are founded and run by refugees and immigrants. And one of the places we study, the most diverse square mile in this country, is a small community outside of Atlanta, Clarkston, Georgia. Since 1980, Clarkston has welcomed more refugees per capita than any other city in the United States. And at the time of one of my research projects, every restaurant in that community, except two, every restaurant was either refugee or immigrant founded and operated. So those are some trends that we see from the research.
In the food business.
That's right. And it's a tough business.
Yes. That's why big cities in America pride themselves of the real good ethnic foods these days, and I love that. I love that.
We see that in small communities as well. I'm sorry, we see that in small communities as well, because before the refugee program was relatively, well, actually suspended, we were seeing more and more refugees settled in smaller communities because the cost of living was lower and it was easier to integrate. So we have some of those same ethnic restaurants in our smaller cities and towns too.
Great, terrific. Okay, Dalton, can you please tell our viewing audience where can they buy your book?
So Bloomsbury Business will be publishing the book August 6th. It's available now for pre-order on Amazon.com. And if you just look up the Refugee Advantage, you'll find the book and more information.
Okay, great. One last word, briefly, before we sign off, about the message of the book.
While it's called the Refugee Advantage and it talks a lot about entrepreneurs and their case studies of entrepreneurs, there's also a chapter on employers that hire refugees. And what's interesting is that there can be obstacles with language, transportation, culture, but what happened in these businesses and these business owners that I've interviewed, what happened to transform their business is not just to make it easier for refugees and others to work there, but it made them better businesses. It's improved the business itself. So I think there's interest here for a lot of different people, business people, investors, but just anyone that would like to know more about a very special group of people that we're looking at incorrectly at the moment.
Great, terrific, Dalton, for gracing our show today and talk about your book. And
thank you, Veronica. Thank you so much.
And well, for our viewing audience out there, you know where to pick up the book, The Refugee Advantage. And Dalton, maraming salamat sa iyo for gracing our show today. Thank you very much for gracing our show. At maraming salamat po sa inyo panonood. Ako po si Veronica. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye. Bye now, Dalton.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21-karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain, and we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po.
Good afternoon, this is Brigitte, Carino, Cueter, bringing you this week's local news from our community. Over the past week, leadership and commissioners of the Illinois Accountability Commission were recognized and engaged at the county, city, and community levels for their work documenting the impact of Operation Midway Blitz, reflecting continued public dialogue surrounding the Commission's findings and final report. Activities included recognition from surrounding Cook County leadership for the Commission's efforts to create a public record of federal enforcement actions, participation in a City Council event recognizing community leadership during Asian American Heritage Month, and presentations at the People's Hearing on Immigration Enforcement, Chicago examining the civil rights impacts of immigration enforcement across Chicago communities. Last week, Board President Tony Preckwinkle and the Cook County Board of Commissioners presented the Illinois Accountability Commission, housed in the Illinois Department of Human Rights, with an honorary resolution recognizing the Commission, contributing witnesses, and all those impacted by Operation Midway Blitz for their efforts to document evidence and advance justice and accountability. As warm summer days approach and families gear up for backyard pool activities and trips to the beach, the Illinois Department of Children and Family Services, Save Kids Illinois, and Lurie Children's Hospital gathered together to promote a simple life-saving strategy everyone can use to keep children safe when they are in or near water. Designate a water watcher. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, drowning is the leading cause of death in children's ages 1 to 4, and the second leading cause of unintentional injury death for children's ages 5 to 14. Most of these tragedies can be prevented if children are actively supervised when they are in or near water. To help families keep children safe, Illinois DCFS has created a printable water watcher tag that clearly identifies the adults responsible for supervising children during water activities, helping ensure that someone is always alert and watching them. The Illinois Department of Employment and Security announced the unemployment rate was 5.1% in April, unchanged from March and up 0.6 percentage points from the same month 1 year ago, based on data provided by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. The revised March unemployment rate was 5.1%. Total non-farm payrolls increased over the month in April, up 11,400 or 0.2% to 6,158,800. The March monthly change in payrolls was revised from the preliminary report from 8,400 to 10,300. The April payroll jobs estimate and unemployment rate reflect activity for the week, including the 12th. The industry sectors with the largest monthly payroll job increases include trade, transportation and utilities, leisure and hospitality, and private education and health services. The sectors with over-the-month job decreases included professional and business services, financial activities, and government. Compared to a year ago, total non-farm payroll jobs were down 4,500 jobs. The industry groups with the largest job increases included private education and health services, construction, and other services. The industry groups with the largest job decreases included professional and business services, trade, transportation and utilities, and financial activities. Congrats, grads! The Illinois Liquor Control Commission, ILCC, applauds your remarkable achievements this commencement season. Graduating is a major milestone filled with pride, excitement, unforgettable memories, and new opportunities ahead. Of course, an accomplishment like this calls for a special celebration. As families and friends gather to honor the class of 2026, we encourage parents, guardians, relatives, and loved ones to plan ahead for a memorable, safe, and alcohol-free graduation celebration for teens. The best celebrations are the ones everyone remembers for the right reasons. A message to parents. Talk with your high school grads. Conversations about alcohol start at home. A message to graduates. Your awesome brain is still developing. Drinking alcohol affects judgment and decision-making and may lead to unwanted consequences. Cook County Treasurer Maria Papas will celebrate Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month by recognizing community leaders, cultural advocates, and business owners whose contributions strengthen Cook County and the greater Chicagoland region. The event took place on May 21st, 2026, following the noontime Daily Plaza Heritage Month events. Immediately after activities wrap up outside, the public was invited across the street to the Treasurer's office in downtown Chicago. Once attendees gathered inside, Treasurer Papas showcased Chinese lion dancers, ancient folk dancers, and a Mongolian throat singer after presenting certificates of excellence to community leaders and cultural performers. Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders represent one of the fastest growing populations in the Chicago metropolitan area and have made lasting contributions across the cultural and business landscape of Cook County. Communities throughout Chicagoland, including Chinatown, Devon Avenue, Albany Park, Uptown, Morton Grove, and Skokie, reflect the rich international traditions and entrepreneurial spirit of their residents. The Trump administration announced the hiring of more than 80 new federal immigration judges, escalating its effort to speed up deportations cases and revive one of President Donald Trump's central campaign promises amid frustration among parts of the MAGA base that the administration's domestic agenda has stalled during the conflict with Iran. As first reported by CBS News, the Justice Department said 77 permanent and 5 temporary immigration judges were sworn in this week, marking the largest immigration judge class in department history. The move comes after the administration removed more than 100 immigration judges over the past year, while reshaping immigration court system to align with its mass deportation agenda. Administration officials said the new hires will help reduce the immigration court backlog, which has swelled to millions of cases after years of increased asylum claims at the southern border. The Justice Department said pending cases have dropped from roughly 4 million to 3.5 million since January 2025. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Brigitte. See you next time.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
This is a prayer and a reminder. All we have is now. Anak, umuwi ka na.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Hi. I can't hug you. Don't touch me.
Over the last several days, we have seen peaceful demonstrations.
Protests over police brutality continued here in Austin.
Remember when you started going to college? You came home a liberal?
Dad, please.
That's what we do to you guys in school.
All these people that we never met and never will meet because of what had happened to them. It's just too much.
The way that our family communicates is not necessarily, it's not great.
What advice would you give for those of us that are struggling?
Deal with it.
I think the norm for our community has been to just stay silent and like keep to your own business.
I could definitely be doing more than I'm doing right now, and I know that others can as well.
What if someone is called from God to be an activist?
I can answer that question.
Shouting revolution, oh wow, breaking each tradition.
You don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement?
An advocacy group reporting at least 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents since last March.
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm like, maybe I should move home and be here with them.
I hope that this moment makes you take a step forward and a step together in the right direction.
In order for a subject to not be taboo in our community, there always has to be like someone to start that conversation.
You speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I've seen you do that for other people.
I see a lot of people who just kind of cut off friends and family, and I don't think I can do that. I love my parents.
This is a symbol of our voices. If you look at your neighbors around you, you will see who stands with you, who stands for you.
At least I know that you can stand up. That's the thing I'm so happy about.